Hey, deck it out DIYers, look at our cute gnome of the month for June. I just love her. I'm so excited to paint her. I hope you are too. So I've taken the sheet of pieces and I've laid them all out so you can see how they will fit together. This project does have multiple small pieces. For example, her boot at the bottom here, you get to take everything apart in pieces. So make sure you have painter's tape around, or you kept your painter's tape, so that we can take the small parts and stick them to that painter's tape to help you paint your project, okay? So like we do every month, we're going to take apart our pieces. Now, if you want to keep the insides to her hair, go for it. If you want to take them out like I did, that's cool too. So I'll show you how I'm going to paint that part up. But what you'll do is you'll take all your pieces after you've laid it out, because it helps you visualize. After you've laid it out, here we go. Then I'm going to stick it onto the tape, okay? And then we're going to get ready to paint. Okay, DIYers, you saw me separate everything out. You also probably noticed when you were taking your pieces off that there are parts of this backer that we will want to paint so that the color shows through. For example, if you left her braids out without filling them in, you're gonna wanna paint behind them. So think about what color you want to do. I am going to paint my garden gnome girl to be blonde. So I will be painting this top part, just painting this, dabbing that blonde, and then or yellow, and then I'm going to just put paint here, and that will just give us a little bit more dimension on her braids. But so that was my plan with that. You also probably noticed I put different pieces on different pieces of tape. I'm gonna do all of these a color, all of these pieces a color, her jumper a color, the rake a color. For her face, I think I'm just going to leave it the color it is. And I'm gonna leave her hands the color they are, and then her boots and then her socks a color. So I kind of separated everything out by color. Now let's just review how to paint. Okay, with so many fun, bright colors, I'm just gonna dive in. So I did tell you I was gonna paint her hair blonde or yellow in this case. So you're gonna put some paint on your sponge, dab some paint off of your sponge, and then these are pretty fragile, these pieces. So you're just gonna hold it down and dab lightly. I don't have a ton of paint, thickness of tissue paper, not a ton of paint on my sponge, and I'm just going to dab. Now remember, I just said you wanna be gentle because these are fragile pieces. So you'll want to just dab them lightly, let them dry, and then come back to them. When you are painting maybe like her jumper, I think her jumper is going to be teal. So same sort of thing. But when you're looking at these lines, you're going to want to put your paint on, okay? Dab it off a little bit. And then when you dab, don't push the paint in. Just dab gently in that area. You can always come back and add second, third coats of paint. And because you're doing it really thin, it dries really fast. So you're just gonna lightly dab. If you have paint markers, you can definitely go back over some of these lines and add little details. And I'll probably do that at the end of this video once I'm done painting and gluing my garden gnome together. So just keep that in mind when you're painting all of the parts. The other project piece is this bow over here, and it does have etched lines. So you'll just want to be careful about that. But again, you can come in after with your X-Acto knife to clean out those lines, or with a detail marker or a detail brush and clean out those lines. Maybe even a Sharpie if you don't have the paint marker. So lots of options. Let's paint all of our pieces and then we'll put them all back together. Okay, so you've watched me paint all of the parts. This looks a little messy right now because I need to get everything on to make sure I have the pink. I wanted the pink as the background to her mouth. So it's gonna be subtle. I might take a paint marker after and go over the smile a little bit. But right now, all my pieces are dry or are drying. I just noticed I have a little pink here, so I'm just gonna cover that up. So put everything back on, make sure everything fits, and make sure that you like the coloring. So I kind of changed my mind halfway through my project painting on a couple of pieces. So now I'm gonna put it all together and see that I actually like what I painted or which pieces I painted certain colors. And if I don't like them, guess what? Paint over it, you guys. You can totally change. I've done that a few times before. So put it all back on and then we will start gluing. All right, everything is laid out. I'm okay with the coloring. So now you're gonna take your glue and you're gonna just work through gluing all the pieces down. I think I'm gonna start at the hat since for me, the most tricky part is right up here because we do have these tiny pieces that we fit in. So I'm gonna start with the hat and work my way down, always making sure you're fitting the pieces snug and lined up with the edges of the project. Also, when you get to the feet, make sure that the feet are level with the layers just so that your gnome does stand. You will not need a lot of glue. You just need a little glue because you are working with super glue. So just a little glue and then just let it sit and set. Okay, so there she is. I love her. I'm gonna take my paint marker now and I'm just gonna add some details around, I love polka dots, so I think I'm gonna put some polka dots on her boots to jazz them up a little bit and to do some other just little detail lines to just kind of enhance the project. You can do this, you don't have to do this, but she's so cute. Okay, ladies, here we are. Here she is. So once she's completely dry, she will stand on her own, okay? Looks like I got a little yellow up there. I hope you enjoyed making her as much as I did. I can't wait to see your creations in our Deck It Out DIYer Facebook group. So share with us, share with a friend, and we'll see you guys next time.